Good morning, gay people, and welcome back to my makeup tutorial series. Today we are talking about eyebrows. So I'm going to send it over to past Zelda to spill the tea. So after I have put on all of my cream foundation products, except for my nose contour, I like to start my eyebrows. To do my eyebrows, I like to go in with the Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Foundation Contour Stick in the shade Light. And this is the same cool tone foundation that I use for the rest of my face. So what I like to do is I like to take this and a flat angled brush. This is the M165. It is a just regular flat angled brush. And so I'm getting some on the brush, and my first step is I like to I line it up with my nose, and I just want to put a dot right around where my natural brow starts. And this is just going to give us a guideline for when we map out our brows. So now what I like to do is I like to look straight ahead and line my brush up with the end of my eyeball and go up. And so what I like to do is my brow goes up and arches, and I kind of like to use my bone structure as a guide. So like my brow bone goes kind of up to like here. And so when it starts to curve inward into my face, that's kind of where I like to put it. So I look straight ahead and I go up right around here. And then I do the same on the other side. I just want to look and make sure they're even. So this one's a little bit higher than this one. We're just going to bring this down a little bit, right around there. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect our first point to our second point, and then we're gonna, once we get to that second point, we're gonna go a little bit up and out. So I go back into my foundation, we're gonna take this and we're going to connect to here, go just a little bit up and out. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side. Now I have two relatively even eyebrows. What I like to do is I like to just flick up on the top edge, just to make it not quite so harsh. So now that we have our brows placed, we want to carve them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flat concealer brush. This is just a regular flat domed concealer brush, generic brand, no brand from Amazon, whatever the fuck it is. I'm going with my E.L.F. Camo concealer on my flat domed concealer brush, and we're just going to, first of all, I like to do a stripe along the bottom of the brow, right here, right at the top of the nose. And the reason that I do that is because we don't want it to be harsh right here at the end of the brow. So even though our brow is coming down a little bit further than what I just erased, we don't want you to know that. We want it to really feather out at the end. So I'm gonna go in with the concealer, and we're just going to very carefully carve out the underside of the eyebrow. I like my brows thin, but if you like your big, thick, blocky brows, go for it. I'm not gonna stop you. And so I will be back once my brows have been set, and we will do the powders. Now that I have set my face, it's time to do the brows in powder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my same angled brush that I used for the creams. I'm gonna wipe off the cream, and I'm going to go in with, I use the Blend Bunny Blends palette, and I'm gonna go in with the gray and the black. So I wear black hair, so I like my brows to be like a dark gray / black. And so I go in with the gray first and on the angled brush, and I'm just going to do little strokes, create little hairs on the brow. I like to blend it up because I like the harsh line underneath the brow and then the top of the brow to be a little bit fluffy. So I like to use the powders to really create that effect. So I like a more natural brow. So I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. So now that we've darkened the brows, we want to create more dimension. And so I go in with the black eyeshadow, and we're going to focus that on the ends of the brow. And it's okay if you get like, you know, a little teeny tiny bit out of place. It's, you know, just gonna make it look more natural, honestly. So as you can see, they're not gonna be perfectly even. They're just not. Like, that's just how eyebrows are. And so don't beat yourself up over them not being perfect sisters. Sisters, not twins, do this. But you know what? They look great. And from afar, they're gonna be perfectly fine. One last step, we're going to go in with our Sugarpill eyeshadow in the shade Tako. This is the whitest white you can get. And I'm gonna go in with a dense, fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is the E.L.F. eyeshadow brush. It's very old, could barely read it. We're just gonna go in with that white and highlight underneath the brow. I wanna really pack it on there. And do the same on the other side. And that's it. We now have our delicious little eyebrows. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back next time.